mystery of the super soldiers and how did they get turned into cutlery and what's going to happen to the rest of them, because the next book comes out on August 29th, and that is called Spooned. And sometime after that, the third book in the series comes out, and it's called Knifed, and it's about like the bully character in their unit, and it's about all three of them finding love. So I am absolutely into that, and I could not stop reading it. Like, it's a little under 300 pages, I think. Or am I thinking wrong? It might be 172. 72 is in there somewhere. But I could not put it down. I couldn't stop reading. And it sounds so silly to say that this man shapeshifted into a fork. And yet I was completely enraptured. Like, I just loved their love story because she was super insecure and like her self-esteem was terrible, and she made her life really small, and she loses him for a little bit. Like, he's out of her life for a little bit, but he had such an impact on it that when he left, she made her life bigger, and I respect that. Oh, tummy noises. And I respected that. I liked her for that. And then I finished Miss Recognition by Madison Newbound, which comes out today. And it's about a woman who gets obsessed with Timothy Chalamet, although they never use his name in the book. He's called the actor character because she falls for him, like as the character he is in Call Me By Your Name, but then she keeps reading everything about him and watching all of the videos of his interviews and is like super into him. And then her town has a theater festival, and he ends up being in one of the plays and comes to her town. And instead of being drawn to him, she's actually drawn to a person in his entourage named Sam. They're a non-binary person. It's an open relationship because Sam has a girlfriend. But it's interesting because when we think about like parasocial relationships, she understands she's not into actual person, actor. She's into the way the actor portrays the character because she never tries to get close to him or be friends with him. He's just sort of like on her periphery. It was very interesting. I also like it because it was a contrast of an unhealthy polyamorous relationship and a healthy polyamorous relationship, both of which she is the third party invited into an existing relationship, and to see how those two relationships play out differently. Like, you have a lot of questions when you hear about her old relationship, and then when everything is revealed, you're like, girl, life did you a favor taking you out of that, okay? And then there's what I'm reading right now, which is called Blood and Mascara by Colin Cranen. I don't love it, but I'm gonna finish it because I am intrigued by the mystery. But basically, it's that this private detective named Bronze was hired to follow a man's wife because he's convinced she's having an affair. She's definitely having many affairs, and then one of the people she's having an affair with is a congressman, and the congressman ends up in the Potomac because this is in DC. And so then, like, a whole bunch of crazy stuff happens, and who you think the killer is not who the killer is. And so it's like going in circles. I'm about 50% in now, and I have no idea where this is going. Bronze is not a good person, and he knows he's not a good person. So I'm trying to see if he's going to redeem himself in any way, but I kinda doubt it. After that, I finally get to read something that's just straight up fun, and it's a book called Sounds Like a Plan. Sounds Like a Plan is by Pamela Samuels Young and Dwayne Alexander Smith, and it's very funny because it's basically like two spies who don't like each other. They do not get along at all. And then they have to be like on a mission together and they fall in love. And like, not only is it like enemies to lovers, but it's spy enemies to lovers, like co-workers to hotness. I absolutely love that, and I cannot wait to get started. I have a hard copy arc from Atria, so like, it's a Simon and Schuster book, so I am so excited to read it. And like, I just already tell him I'd be smiling. Oh fuck, like I can't stop smiling now. So there's your little reading update. Have a good week. Happy 4th of July.